So today we're going to learn synthetic division. Last week we learned how to do long division. That's where we would set this problem up like this. Now, in order to do synthetic division, this coefficient needs to be a 1. Like in this example, it's a 1. If it's not a 1, then you can't use synthetic division, okay? So for example, if this was a 2, we couldn't use synthetic division. We would have to do long division where we set it up like this, okay? So we're going to do long division today. And the first step is to list the coefficients in order. So let's do example 1. The coefficient here is 2. The coefficient here is -5. Here, what's the coefficient? Good. And then 3. List the coefficients in order. Next, number 2, it says find the solution for the divisor. This part is your divisor. This is the divisor. So for our example, this is our divisor. How we solve is we equal it to 0 and we solve it. So I would subtract 3. So guys, what is x equal to? -3. So if you don't want to do this whole process, just know that it's always the opposite. Okay, so there's a +3 right here. That means your divisor, when you solve, would be -3. This is how we set up synthetic division. Let's look at the next step. The next step is bring down the first coefficient. So I'm going to bring down this first coefficient and put it right there. The fourth step, multiply, add over and over again. So this is what we mean by that. I'm going to multiply -3 times 2. What is that? -6. Your answer will go right here. And then we'll add these two numbers to get -11. We repeat the same process. -3 times -11 is what? Yep, +33. And then we add these together to get 32. Next, we're going to do -3 times 32, which is -96. And then we add these together to get -93. Okay, let's look at the next step. This is the note that they give us. The quotient, do you guys remember what the definition of a quotient is? Quotient means the answer to a division problem, okay? So that means the quotient, meaning your answer, is always 1 degree less than what you started with. So looking at this example, what degree did we start with? What's the biggest degree you see up here? It's cubed, okay? This is the biggest degree, the 3. So your answer will be 1 degree less than that. So this will become 2x squared minus x plus 32. This minus 93 is your remainder. So go ahead and label the parts. This part is your quotient. It's going to be 1 degree less than what you started with. And this part is your remainder. Okay, let's set up number 2. You list the coefficients in order, and you put the opposite number out here. Remember, if you want to show the math, equal the divisor to 0, so we know that x is 3. The quick way is just to do the opposite. Okay, bring down the first coefficient. We multiply, add over and over again. So guys, what's 3 times 2?
6.
Put it right here, and then you add them. 6 plus 4 is 10. We repeat the process. 3 times 10 is 30. And then you add these two together to get 35. 3 times 35 is 105. You add these together to get 104. So guys, this will become, my answer will be 2x what? Squared, yes. You go down 1 degree from what you started with. Put a plus sign, this will be an x, put a plus sign. 104 is your remainder. Pretty quick. And guys, when can you use this? Yes, when there's a 1 right here. That's the only time you can use synthetic division. If there was like a 2 or a 3, we can't do synthetic. You have to do it the long way. All right. Next one, we have missing terms. Guys, let's look at the notes when we have missing terms. In the notes, it says use zeros for missing terms. So let's do that one. Normally, it goes x to the 4th, then x cubed, then x squared, then x, and then your number, correct? Okay, so we are missing which terms? Cubed, so I'm going to put a 0 there. I have the squared term. Do I have the x term? No, so put a 0 there and then -1. Someone always misses this on the test. They forget to put the zeros. That happens every test. Many people forget to put the zeros for the missing term. Bring down the first coefficient. 1 times 2 is 2, and then we add. Again, 1 times 2 is 2, and we add these to get 6. 1 times 6 is 6, and we add these, you get 6 again. 1 times 6 is 6. We add these to get 5. Okay, so what will my leading coefficient be for my answer? Sorry, my leading exponent. Yes, a 3. So this will be 2x cubed plus 2x squared. You just go down the list. Just go in order. Plus 5 is your remainder, so that will go over x minus 1. Label it. This part is your quotient. This part is your remainder. On the test, you will have to label these. On the test, they'll say, what is the quotient? With a blank, and then they'll say, what is the remainder? With the blank. Okay, so make sure you know which part is which. This part is the quotient. This part is the remainder. Okay? All right, last example. We did one with missing terms. Now we're going to do one that doesn't have a remainder. So guys, go ahead and set it up. Write out the coefficients. And this will be opposite, so -5. Because x plus 5 equal it to 0. X is -5. So that's what goes out here. Bring down the first coefficient. We multiply. That's -15. Add these together, you get 2. Now we're going to multiply again. -5 times 2 is -10. Add these together, you get -4. Next, -5 times -4 is 20. Add these together, you get 0. So we do not have a remainder. Our answer, we go 1 degree less than this. So we'll do x squared plus 2x. This is your answer. So that means your quotient is what I just boxed right here. For remainder, you would just write none. You do not have a remainder. Okay, one thing that I want to point out in the notes is that you have to list the coefficients from the terms in order. Guys, it has to be in order because you will get questions like this. Is this in order? No. Can you guys tell me what should come first? Yes, the fourth should come first. That's the highest degree. What should come next? Yep, the square term is the next highest. What would come next? Plus 2x minus 5. Is this part in order? No, we would have to rewrite this. This would be k minus 5. Okay? There are a few questions like this in your practice where before you do anything, you have to rewrite it to make sure it's in the correct order. Does that make sense? Okay,